We are back this week to finish our pantry staples. Yes, we have actually 5 recipes left, and we're going to do 2 today and look for 3 for the finale this Friday. Today is November the 18th. So this coming Friday, we'll have 3 recipes to finish up, and then the following week of Thanksgiving, we'll make our gift baskets. So the first thing we're going to start with is our hot cocoa. Now, mine may be different or it might be identical to yours, but let's make our hot cocoa, and we're going to make our apple cider mix. You know what you get in the packs? I think it's Alpine. I believe it's Alpine something. I drank it for years. I had to have a cup every evening in the winter. Now I don't, because I make my own. There again, trying to learn how to make some of our pleasures at home, saves on the pocketbook, and keeping the junk out. That is the key to our pantry staples. Plus, every recipe that we've done this far and moving forward to this week, you can adjust to your family's flavor. And that's the beauty of these recipes. So let's get our cocoa powder mix done. I will be storing mine in the container that I store it in because that's the grandkids' favorite. Now, I don't use dehydrated marshmallows. They like their marshmallows on top, along with a candy cane. And these are the melting kind. They're soft. So they're already displayed out for when they come to have their hot cocoa. I hope you can see pretty good. In our mixing bowl, I have 4 cups of powdered milk. You can use the 2%. This is just whole powdered milk, and I have been whisking it very well. This recipe, actually, you're gonna have to whisk, and I will probably sift my cocoa powder because this has really gotta be incorporated. 4 cups powdered milk, and we need 2 cups of powdered sugar. Now, this recipe can be cut in half for you to try before you make a double batch like I make. So we need 2 cups of powdered sugar. And always have you a mat if you're like me and tend to make a mess. I'm gonna put it into my sifter. When I start seeing clumps, I just take my whisk and kind of move it around a little bit. I've already got my cocoa powder measured. This is just regular cocoa powder. You need 1.5 cups. Like I said, this is a double batch, so you can cut it in half. And before I make a big mess, guys, I'm gonna do a little at a time. This is 1.5 cups. And cocoa powder, good cocoa powder, will lump on you. Now we're gonna get this well and combined. The last ingredient is a pinch of salt. That's actually going to bring out the sweetness and balance the cocoa. This is about 1/8 teaspoon, guys. So while I'm mixing this up very well and putting it in the container, to make, you're going to need 1 cup of hot water. You can use warm milk, but it's already got powdered milk. But I always do 1 cup of hot water, 3 tablespoons of cocoa. If you are our grandson, Cameron, he would say, Mama, I need an extra. So it's going to be 3 to 4 tablespoons of this mix per cup of hot water. And there is your hot cocoa. So it really depends on how much chocolate you like. I like 3 tablespoons. The grandson says 1 more. So I will leave that down in the description as well. All right, guys, here's my hot chocolate. It makes a lot when you double the batch, but this amount will carry through the winter when the grandkids come over, and a cup for me every now and again. But here it is. It is delicious. It's not too sweet. That's why I like using the powdered sugar. But it's 3 tablespoons of mix to a cup of hot water. And you're going to ask, what kind of cup? A mug. No hunker, just a standard 8-ounce mug. 6 to 8 ounces. Y'all look. Yes, it was tucked behind the powdered sugar. That would be cornstarch. I shouldn't put small things because I was like, I'm cleaning up. What's missing? The cornstarch. I'd have been better off leaving the cornstarch container sitting right here with a tablespoon measure on it. But no. Okay. I'm looking at my recipe. Yes. It's 2 tablespoons to the batch I make, so you're like, what are you going to do now? The only thing I can do is dump this over into a mixing bowl because I don't want to just put it in here and call myself mixing it. I'll just put it over to a mixing bowl and add it. 2 tablespoons cornstarch. It don't matter how hard I try. It just don't matter. Sometimes that elevator just don't go all the way up, y'all. And here it is. So now I have to mix it very well. Now we're going to move to the hot apple cider mix. Remember, I double these batches because we've tested them. We like them. I need to start off with 4 cups of sugar. Yes, 4 cups. And here is my 4th cup. 4 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. 4, ½ teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Now, if you don't like a lot of nutmeg, cut that in half. ½ tablespoon of ground clove. Just like that. And guys, that is it. Now, I also do a 2 ingredient, which is 2 cups of sugar and 2 tablespoons of apple pie spice. But we like this one better. Oh, there was a cloud. Now, I'll make a quart of this. So I'll use 1½ tablespoons of this mix to a quart of hot water. Now, you can add this to warmed cranberry juice, apple juice, but I just add mine to hot water. But that's 1.5 tablespoons to a quart. If you want to do a glass, or should I say a mug, like an 8-ounce mug, start with a teaspoon. No, start with ½ teaspoon and increase from there. Because it's 1.5 tablespoons, it's very potent, but it's not when you mix it in that quart. And if I have apple juice, I'll warm the apple juice up and add this to a quart of liquid. And there is our hot apple cider mock mix. It smells heavenly. I think I may make me a cup, which I got coffee here. It's a little pungent when you're standing over the bowl. Woo! It smells like Christmas. I've got it in my quart jar to the rim, guys. To the rim. But we're going to be making that gift basket. So there you go. I just have to label it. But there it is. Isn't it gorgeous? The way the blends, even though I blended it well, look, it has like that little stripe. And then what I like to do is just kind of mix it as I'm using it. You know, give it a good shimmy shake, then scoop. But yeah, this is decadent. Now I really have a dusty mess to clean up. But there you have 2 more recipes in our Pantry Staples playlist. Next up, it's going to surprise you, but I left some fun recipes as our finale. But as always, stay safe, stay well, and God bless, and I will see you guys on the next one.